Grant wasn't late, he's running right on time.
Okay. Hey, Nathan? Is Nathan there?
Hello, Matt.
Hey, how are you, sir?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Doing good.
Good.
Do you want me to run this remote, or would you like to do it there?
Sure. I mean, we can. Oh, yeah, I am Vice. Yeah, we can take it here. Yeah, we'll roll with it. So, yeah, Matt, just jump in if whenever we need to add anything.
Yeah, no problem. It should be pretty straightforward.
Good. Sounds like something I can
I guess
handle.
I'll jump in if we need to, but I thought it would be odd on video if they hear a speaker and nobody's talking, you know what I mean?
No figurehead.
Yeah. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
Sounds good. We'll go ahead and do a roll call. Matt Meredith,
Here?
Mike Keith,
Here.
T.C. Cook,
Here.
Mike Haley,
Here.
Alex Knapp.
Here.
All right, everyone's here. Everyone should have received a copy of the minutes from the April 14th meeting. Were there any changes?
I'd make a motion to approve the minutes as received and written.
A motion made by Commissioner, by T.C. Cook. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mike Keith. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
A motion passes. All right, next up, we got the TIF determination. And currently we've got two TIF districts here at Westgate and GPC. Both of these are saying that there's no excess assessed value to be passed through for either TIF district, which has been the case in the past. So, any questions on either of those? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
A motion made by Mike Haley. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by T.C. Cook. All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Aye.
A motion passes unanimously. It looks like Matt's already signed those. This should be good. All right. Next up is the resolutions for the TIF allocation areas. We got the resolution for each area. So what will happen is this will notify each of the overlapping districts of the no excess TIF in each district, which I think our deadline is June 15th. So any questions?
Yeah, I think everybody got that information from Counselor, from our attorney yesterday afternoon concerning that deadline. We are good to go.
Sounds good. If there's no questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve both.
So moved.
The motion made by T.C. Cook. Do we have a second? Second by Mike Haley. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Got those signed. Okay. Next up, we got the 2026 updated spending plan. We got the professional fees for Baker Tilly. I'm assuming most of those.
Only changes for the money for the fire districts, for us to get that changed, for us to get that paid out this year.
So yeah, so for the fire equipment, we have the variety of volunteer fire departments. I believe that all the gear has been ordered. We did hold off on the Odin, Madison. Madison did submit a contract for services to Odin up to 2 weeks ago. It's probably been 1 or 2 weeks ago, because they don't really have a money issue up there. They just have a kind of they're getting everything smoothed up there, and Madison is willing to provide fire services to Odin like they are to Van Buren. So we did pull out those requests, but everything else should be included in this. And the only thing we're waiting on right now, to my knowledge, is the town of Montgomery. I think they're meeting in June for the resolution to create the fire district, and then Plainville. I think they're planning on getting us their resolution by the end of July 1st. Both those organizations are working with Baker Tilly. Because when we first started, you know, the criteria was we'll provide the gear, but you really got to provide a solution for long-term funding, or else you guys are going to be doing this again in 6 or 7, 8 years. So the process took longer than we thought. The gear was already ordered, so there's a high hope that they sign the resolution so we get those fire districts formed. So, are there any other questions on the 2006 spending plan? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
A motion made by Mike Keith. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mike Haley. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
A motion passes unanimously. The 2027 spending plan, and this will, so it's as we know now. So with the GPC TIF district, as the Y project has a couple more hurdles to jump over, so the next 90 to 120 days, that project will be at a good state, and then they'll come back in and present you their 2027 request. But as of right now, there are no requests from that district. And then same with Westgate. Once they determine their utility needs up there, they'll be back in touch with us too. So as of now, we've got the professional fees and then the other anticipated expenses. Oh, that is for your pins.
Yeah, that,
Okay.
we can always change those numbers. We just got to put it in there for now.
Oh, okay.
So look ahead.
Got it. No, it makes sense.
Yeah, those can be changed. We just got to have them in.
All right. Sounds good. Any other questions? If not, an entertain motion to approve.
So moved.
A motion made by TC Cook. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mike Keith. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
A motion passes unanimously. All right, next meeting. Do we have anything queued up for the next RDC meeting?
There's nothing specific on our agenda that with us
Okay.
having the 2027 spending plan that would potentially eliminate the November meeting, so it's totally up into your guys' courts on whether or not there's something that you have that needs to be taken care of.
Okay.
We have it as needed.
Yeah, let's do that. Just do as needed, because like I said, in the next 3 or 4 months, the Y will have their gap.
Yeah, I think based upon what we hear from the Y, then maybe we can reconvene. Otherwise, I think we're good.
Yep. Yep.
Sounds great. Sounds great. All right, anything else?
Is there anything that we're looking at for the water tower project at Westgate?
Yeah, I've not heard any updates. Matt, how about you?
They're supposed to have.
They're in a design issue. They're behind as well. We got something last week, I believe, from Greg, correct? And he was going to get back a hold of some things because it's like a 6-week. We'll do the same kind of like as the Y, because there's like a 6-week thing to get approved, and they just came out with or something like that. So Greg is trying to move on that. He knew he wouldn't have any information for this meeting, so it'll be at will as well. We'll just have to put something together if they come up with that information.
Do we have anything to say? Bob Grury's also here in the audience, by the way, just because you're not here, so I'll let you know that. But right now, like Greene County and was it Eastern Heights or
Eastern Heights.
Yeah, Eastern Heights Utilities is kind of like taking the lead on who gets to be the contractor, who gets to do all the stuff, yet we're the one paying for it to build it. And that's seemingly some of the issues that we're having right now with kind of the selection of who they're picking to do that. Do we have any say? Should we have any say in some of this stuff? since we're the one paying for it?
Well, I think absolutely. Does Bob have any more information concerning that? Would he like to speak?
Come on.
I think your your observation's valid, that I think USTF oftentimes served as the general contractor with some of these previous infrastructure projects, because they went out and found the financing.
Right.
So here again, the financing in large part from Davis County. And it's curious if that's migrated away from Bryant's purview.
So all I know is, the little bit is that the first drawing and where they were gonna place it was gonna cost a lot. Structure Point comes in and says, hey, you should probably move that. That would save you a bunch of money. And then Wessler's like, oh, yeah, we didn't know. And it's like, well, then why are we still going with people who didn't even come up with that and are slowing the process down? Why not just give it a Structure Point and let's go?
I understand.
And why haven't we had a say is
Yeah.
the bigger issue.
Yeah, I understand. I don't know how to phrase it, but that Wessler is a trusted advisor of Eastern Heights, and they want them there.
But they're looking out for other
Eastern
people's interests, not our interest, right? In that.
Well, I would hope,
Well-
go ahead.
Go ahead, Matt.
No, I was going to say, we probably should do some communication there. Be like, if we're funding that, we need to be in the loop. And these are our partners. I don't think that's a bad idea.
How
Bob,
do
what
we, how do
say
we
you?
get to that point where we say that? Who says that?
Yeah.
And to who do we say it to?
I think that's what we need to determine.
Well, I think we need it, maybe,
Do we get with Greg? Would he be the first point of contact, or no?
I wouldn't. I've talked with Greg a little bit about it. I don't mind reaching out to Greg, but and obviously he's got a lot of knowledge working on this and putting together the grant and all that stuff. I don't know if he's the decision maker or if he can get the decision done. So that's where I'm like, who's the decision maker here? Because it doesn't seem like we have anybody on our side that's making any decisions. That's just what it doesn't seem like. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it doesn't seem like that.
yeah, I guess I would suggest that we're getting a lot of acronyms involved. Before we only dealt with EDC, and then EDC kind of sat on top of WGA, so to speak, and then we got USTF, and then EDC got pulled out a little bit, and now we're getting SIDC. So
I'll tell you what I'll do, guys. Let me reach out to all of those acronyms and then try to pull together something so we can go from there.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, who's really the decision makers here? And that way we're not just talking about it, we're actually doing something about it. So
yeah, so
let me start that reach out as well.
no, I think that's good. But I think as far as Westgate, and it's just from 10,000 feet, Bob, from Westgate. 4 years ago was EDC was their only entity we had, right? And that's why we funded EDCs to be our Lido up there. So then USTF came in and took that role over for EDC. So as far as and just from the communication channels, it was RDC to USTF, and then USTF communicated with EDC and SIDC, all the different acronyms. So I think that should still be the link is RDC to USTF.
Correct.
So Bryant is probably who we need to reach out to, but the two key concerns is one, that what TC brought up, and then the other key concern is what we discussed at that at our previous meeting, is if Davies County taxpayers pay for capital assets that someone else owns, how do the Davies County taxpayers get their money back? And that's a question I still don't have answered yet. And I'm only here for another 6 months. But while I'm here, I can't vote for any sort of funding for Westgate assets if someone else owns them, and I don't know how we're getting our money back.
So why are we paying for them?
So the biggest issue is we got to have water out there.
Right,
We have to,
right,
right?
right.
That's number one. So I think we all agree with that
And they're the only supplier.
at this point. So the other thing is there could be a board seat that a commissioner sits on or a commissioner appointed sits on Eastern Heights. Their pushback is where our bylaws don't say that you can have that. And I said, well, bylaws can be changed in 5 seconds. The state doesn't care what's in the bylaws, just as long as you follow the bylaws. And because they're a nonprofit, right? And so all that has to do is be voted on, they add a seat, and then we're done.
Yeah.
And we move on. And I would be more acceptable to that, to at least have a voice on what's going on, right?
I mean, in the traditional way, if you build a house or you build a business and you put in a $200,000 water line, you pay for it. And then if anyone else taps into it, they pay
The
their
tapping,
half
yeah.
prorated.
Right.
So that's my old thing is there's going to be new. What I had asked at the previous meeting is that okay, they're going to have operating expenses by taking over this asset. So let's quantify that. But then all the gross margin above and beyond that, let's have a cost share of that, where Davies County gets a cost share of that back to pay off some of our infrastructure costs.
Well, and even if it's spread out over 50 years, right? Like,
It could
like
be-
I'm throwing out a crazy, ridiculous number,
Right.
but at least you get your money back, and that's not going to hurt their
Right.
bottom line at all if you push it out farther, and they're making a lease payment, if you will, and for it, but it's theirs to operate. And when I shot that out to certain people, it got shot down, and I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. Why? Right? And so, again, we know we need water. We know they need water. Contractors coming in need it, right? Businesses coming in need it. And the bigger concern to me is we seemingly have no voice in something that we're paying $2 million for, if not more. That's just a hope, is that it's $2 million because we get an 80-20 grant. And that's my biggest concern.
Yes. So to Matt's point, what are we going to do?
I think we have those conversations, but Nathan, you put it really well that, you know, it doesn't seem that hard to bake that into the rates, that, you know, it's all the cost of doing business.
Yeah, I don't think they've had a rate increase in many years, and they're losing money from what I hear. Eastern Heights is, and so.
So I guess as one of our consulting partners, Bob, would you reach out to Bryant?
Yeah.
Convey our concerns to Bryant, and then Bryant can reach out to Matt as the president, and just to make sure that this body and USTF are on the same page. Because you're one of our main, consulting partners from a contractual standpoint. So that would.
Matt, if you would just keep us in the loop with after Bob goes to Brian, Bryant goes to you, and then you come back to us, that would be great.
I'll make sure everybody is, I make sure I communicate that with everyone, absolutely.
And if you need me to jump on a meeting, just let me know, all right?
Sure, no, that sounds good.
All right, anything else for the?
Yeah, happy to do that.
Related consideration is we want someone who's versed in administering these kinds of programs. There's a lot of paperwork. Greg Jones, of course, is excellent at that, but you guys bring up a good point.
And that's why we have you guys as partners, for sure, yeah.
Okay, anything else for the good of the order?
Grant Schwarzenegger, I know we've still got some time, but I've had 2 private clients reaching out about Duke crossing over from the south relative to trying to access Westgate. So it would be nice to have some direction as to what would be, and they're both Davis County residents, and they're both not interested in having their tracks split. At least one of them said that they were buying it for the purposes of developing housing, which of course that we want. And, you know, this development, this change would make it obviously more difficult and less desirable for that to happen. So just related to the earlier request, it would be nice to know what the need actually is. It seems a little bit haphazard with what's being requested, And
Can you go into a little more detail, because
I can't say who the
no,
are, but
like Duke crossing over. Like,
Energy wants to cross over from the south to access Westgate.
With the main transmission line, I guess, like tower lines.
A handful of things, but yes.
who's
so-
running the power right now?
There's been and they've only recently said that they have like condemnation authority or eminent domain authority, which means that they're operating at the behest of the government. So, and they're kind of driving a hard bargain. I would kind of like to pump the brakes and just know exactly what's needed and just make sure that the purpose for which they bought the land is not being impacted in the negative. So just a bit more order and clarity on what's needed.
Bob, you know who's running the power out at Westgate right now? Sorry, make it back up.
Yeah, Utility District of Western Indiana, via Hoosier Energy, serves Westgate.
Do you know about this Duke stuff?
Well, it's an interesting thing. It came to light maybe 2 years ago. They wanted to put a transmission line of some scale from the south, getting north, and they had a couple of public hearings up at Odin and a lot of different alignments, and ended up taking one that sort of cut through some of the prime Westgate facility land, particularly close to Amentum. And I think as this played out, I don't know, but Amentum, I think, shared that, the mission we're doing here is very precise. We don't know if we want electromagnetic interference from a power line. I don't know, but anyway, it kind of went dark. But as Grant noted, there must be looking at maybe other landowners, other alignments that would affect landowners. So they just want to get through, not serve, just get, and my understanding is through Westgate. I'll circle back with our Duke partners and just see where that landed. Like I said, it sort of went dark.
Okay.
Okay, makes more sense.
All right,
Thanks, Bob.
any other comments? Matt, anything else from you, buddy?
No, I think I'm good. Appreciate everybody.
Okay, if there's no other comments, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
A motion made by Mike Keith. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by TC Cook. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. All right.
Okay.
Have a good day,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, who do these net girls belong to? I keep hearing on the radio.